President Joe Biden is pushing for meaningful gun control measures, including another ban on assault weapons.
That's shaping up to be a nearly impossible task for Congress, though. CBS 4 Washington correspondent Trevor Shirley has that story tonight.
Well, yesterday at the White House, President Biden said these issues of gun control and gun regulation should not be partisan, but that's easier said than done when you're dealing with a Congress that's as divided as the one we've currently got. Also during his brief remarks yesterday, President Biden called on the Senate to pass two gun control bills that have already been passed by the House. Both of those bills would expand background checks, including between private parties. But Senator Joe Manchin, a Democrat from West Virginia, said he would oppose both of those bills. It shows the hesitancy even within the Democratic Party to confront what is still a white-hot political issue. The president also called for a new ban on assault weapons, the last of which passed in the 90s during the Clinton administration, but then expired in 2004 under President George W. Bush. Keep in mind, any new legislation on gun issues would have to clear the 60-vote threshold needed in the Senate, and at this point that looks very unlikely. Even Republicans who have previously supported compromise on expanded background checks, like Senator Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, say they can't support the two bills the president wants passed, but some say they are open to the idea in general.
The idea of banning assault weapons, I don't think has any chance of passing in the Senate. A lot of this is mental illness that was not detected, not treated, but I would like to beef up the background system in a credible way.
Well, now we don't have a Republican majority, we have a Democratic one. This time is going to be different. A Democratic majority in the Senate is going to act. I have committed to put legislation to expand background checks on the floor of the Senate. We will debate it. We will vote on it.
And some Democrats have floated the idea of getting rid of the filibuster. That way Democrats can get their legislation through Congress with just a simple majority. But other Democrats are uneasy with that, mostly because of the political fallout that could happen down the road, especially when and if Republicans retake the Senate in the future. Reporting in Washington, I'm Trevor Shirley.